Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year to you. My name is Leonard Lloyd, and this is my first video of the new year. It's January the 7th. I noticed that all the videos I've usually done in the morning. I said, well, let's see what it's like to do one at night. So that's my oldest child in the corner. That's Alexis. She's 16. And I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday and was able to survive it. Um, I just want to let you know that I started branching out with the videos to other pages, and within 6 days, I've gone from 4,000 something to over 5,000 views, and I really think that is just outstanding, and I appreciate it so much. And I ask that you continue to share, to pass these videos on to people, because sometimes if you see someone, talking about it live or in person, to me, you get a little more feeling for what you're going through, and folks that may not understand what you're going through will actually see that there's another face put to it. So please continue just to share the videos. I would really, really appreciate it. Tonight, I'd like to talk about the financial aspect of having mental illness. A few videos back, I talked to you about, the compulsive shopping, the hypersex, and the minimal drug use. But financially, things can really get out of control. And I'm at the point now where my therapist wants me to file bankruptcy, because besides the mortgage, the car payment, and utilities, I'm $27,000 in debt with credit cards. I have like 4 or 5 credit cards, and if I had one that had nothing on it and one that was really high, so when I'm gonna stop using the high one, I haven't used this one yet, so I only put a little bit on there. That's what I kept saying. Didn't work out that way, because after a while, the one that had nothing on it was just as high as the one that had a lot on it. And you keep telling yourself you pay it back, you pay it back, you pay it back, and you don't do it. So I've cut up quite a few, and the 2 that I still have, I'm just about at the limit on both of them. So there's old saying, if you don't have it, you can't spend it. So I have put myself on a very tight budget this year, and I'm really going to try to stick to it, because I got into this and I have to do my best to get out of it. Filing bankruptcy is too easy, because I know me. I would file bankruptcy, everything cleared up, and I'd be out shopping all over again. So, in a way, this is kind of what I have to do to punish myself, because no one got me into this but me. It was just my uncontrollable urge to go out shopping, to try to compete with what everybody else has, to belong. I've done it all my life. When I first started working, I thought it was fantastic. I had credit card for every store in Chicago, even the high-end stores. 3 MasterCards, 3 Visas, American Express, Pennies, Wars. I had all of them. And at one time, I owed on all of them, because I was buying things for everybody. And the only thing I wound up getting was the bill. Never bought anything for myself. Bought for everybody else. Oh, come on, let's go out to dinner. It's my treat. And again, this was the codependency kicking in. I'll treat, and we can all go out and have a good time, and everybody know Leonard is a fun person. Well, when the bills start coming in, Leonard is the one that has to pay them. So I have had to really, really stop. So I've already cut out buying the paper on the weekend. Because during the week, I would get the Sun-Times Tribune and plus gummy bears with 2 packs for $2. That was $5.40 a day, plus the weekend editions of the paper. By me cutting out the gummy bears and the weekend papers, I'm going to save a ton of money. And you need to hold on for this. I spent, okay, and you really need to hold on for this. Last year, I spent $744 on gummy bears. Yes, $744 on gummy bears. You know, two for $2, 7 days a week on gummy bears. I couldn't believe it when I made up my my budget the other day. So if I get rid of that, I stop buying the paper on the weekend, and I forget what else. I'll be able to save $1,500 this year, and I am determined to do that. Right now, I was in the process of buying a wall oven. My oven has not worked in 2 years. It's about 20 years old. And, you know, sometimes things happen for a reason. The oven that I was going to get, I read the thing wrong. I thought it was a gas oven. It was an electric oven. So, you know, I said $846. So I called today and I found out that it was the gas oven. Gas oven was $1,300. So I said, well, you know, what's another $500? Then notice came for auto insurance. Now, normally I would have just said to hell with it. I put them both on a credit card because now I have a Lowe's credit card. I can't do that anymore. I can't do it. It's just I just cannot do it. I have to become fiscally responsible. So the oven is just going to have to wait. I can't put myself into any more debt. I want to try to get to where I was last year. If I can bring it down $4,000, that is my goal. That is what I have to do because I've just, you know, gotten myself so far, and you know, God forbid there's an emergency, something happens. I don't have the credit to pay for it, you know. But then, you know, that's my fault, and I really have to start, to grow up and get my financial matters in order. Some of you, you know, on some of the other pages that I've been on, were wondering if you have anybody with a mental illness, if you have problems with friends and family, with or without mental illness, you're always going to have problems with friends or family. That's just the least of it. And if they have a problem with you or that, so it's on them. You can't worry about them. You have to try to relieve as much of that stress as you can. I mean, it's just me and my two cats. And I know there are probably a lot of you out there that are working. You have families to take care of, and God bless you, because I know that takes a lot of strength for you to do that every day. And you know, really, you know, I applaud you. And again, don't think that you are alone because you're not. There are a lot of us that are going through the same struggles every day, financially, sexually, you know, dealing with friends and family. So you're not the only one that thinks these things. You're not the only one going through it. So don't feel that you are alone because you're not. We're all in this together. And that's the purpose of the videos, to let you know that you are not alone. We are all in this. And it really helps me. It really does, because I just, when I get messages from you all, I got one from a gentleman. I did video on medications that I was on, and he told me that it was the first time he had seen anybody, you know, go into depth on the video on the medications that you take and the effects that they can have on you. And he kind of, you know, it was kind of funny. He said, because if the psychiatrist knew what these drugs do to you, they would never take them. And speaking of medication, I went to see a psychiatrist yesterday, and I went to see my therapist yesterday. But since it was an early day, I did not take my medication because it was early in the morning, And if I don't eat heavy, it kind of makes my stomach queasy. But it was like midday, and I still hadn't taken. I was at the therapist's office, and I was just circling the planet because I had just taken off because I had not had my medication, and I was just hyper, and I was just babbling, and I was just so wired up. It was just ridiculous. And with my medication, because sometimes I forget. I get caught up in something and I forget. And the only reason I know that I forgot is when I start getting wired up, my speech starts to slur, or I get extremely dizzy and I get, like that woozy feeling. I get like that, and like, oh, I didn't take my medicine. And that's just one day. Even if I miss taking one pill, I still get a little bit dizzy, and I'll get a headache. This is how strong some of these medications are. If you miss one or you miss one day, it just it can just totally throw you back. So it's important for me to remember when to take my medicine, to make sure that I take it when I'm supposed to take it. Because the therapist's like, it's okay, it's okay. I said no, because when I go home, I have to go to bed because I am on the launching pad, and I'm really getting ready to take off again. But those are the financial aspects of mental illness. And when with me, it's the codependency, the depression, and the anxiety. That's all combined with the bipolar too. Okay, they're separate things, but they're all combined together, which kind of piles on to the bipolar. And I find out with my therapist to say, okay, this week I have the anxiety under control. And you figure you have it under control, and then that depression kicks in. So you figure I can put the anxiety on hold, deal with the depression, and I'm finding out it doesn't work that way. You can't just take care of one thing and then something. I'm finding out it's not that way. It's a package deal. You're dealing with everything at the same time, minute by minute, second by second, and this is why I'm still learning. And sometimes it can be overwhelming, and I know some of you may feel that way too. And I just keep going. I try to stay positive. I try to stay calm. I try to uh, lead stressfulness. I'm losing again. Try to live as calm a life as I can. So it can be it's hard. As I said before, it's hard. It's hard on us. It's hard for people that still have a hard time understanding. And some of them you'll be able to convince, and some you won't. And the ones that don't, it's on them, and you really can't let that defeat you. I have to say, I'm not going to let that defeat me. That's on them. I'm not going to get upset. I'm just going to do what I have to do to be strong and to continue to try to stay as healthy as I can. That is my goal for 2016, and to also continue to do the videos, to talk to you, and let you know how my continuing journey is going, because I see now this journey is not just a straight route. This is a journey with curves and hills and valleys, and sometimes you may unexpectedly hit a wall. You don't know when, you don't know how hard, but sometimes you're going to hit a wall. So I try to prepare for that the best way I can. So again, as always, please continue to share the videos. Um, Thank you for letting me, be part of your life. I thank you for being part of my life, because this is extremely helpful to me. This helps me kind of unwind a little bit between the times I go and see my therapist. So this is very helpful for me, and I really hope it's helpful for you, because as I am not a psychiatrist, I am not a therapist, I'm not a psychoanalyst. I am just a diva trying to make it through the day, trying to share my experience with you, to continue to let you know that you are not in this alone, and to try to hopefully you can find something that will get you on that peaceful track, because what works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. So try to find something, music, art, taking a walk. Try to find something during some part of the day that you can just have some downtime to spend with yourself and work on yourself during some part of the day. So it's also, once again, thank you, take care, be strong, and I'll see you soon.